If you're here, you know you want to explore Blowing in the Wind. We're going to do a few things today and take a grand adventure through the basic chord changes. And if you want to learn how to jam on the song, we're just going to do this completely improvised session today. I'm going to walk you through some of the things that I think about, and we're going to get started now. We've got this G chord, and then it's really simple. You know, there's a G5, you know, and then the C sus2, and then back to G5, and then back to G, and then D sus4 if you want, and then the answer, my friend, A sus4 is Blowing in the Wind, E minor 7, you know, and then we have the C sus2 and then D sus4 back to G. And this is not a Wonderwall guitar session, so you can rest assured that we're focusing on G major as well. We don't have to keep those top two strings on the 3rd fret. We can tighten it up if we want, but I want to focus for a moment on strum pattern. So we can easily get back to the C, walk down to the A minor 7, and then back down to the E minor 7 or E minor. The C moves, or the 4 chord, back up to the 5, or the D back to G. Something like that. But we're going to talk about bringing, if you stick around with me through this session, it's a little bit of an open-ended sort of exploration where we learn the G major scale in the open position, because we will need to know this here. We could also start with this cross-picking. Noodling around today, and I hope that you're sticking around. We're going to talk a little bit more about just strumming a basic pattern and trying to stay on time. This is one of the most important features that we can grow within ourselves, I believe, is just coming and encountering the time continuum. And you know, it sounds a little bit sort of like voodoo. But the time continuum is going, whatever we put out into the universe that kind of comes back through the time continuum is going to be worth doing, I think, and doing well. I don't have to move away from this shape. I can just use that C sus2 or C add 9 and then the G5 or the Nashville G. Maybe we'll tune up the guitar. real quick, just in case. But I appreciate you being here today. This indicates that you're really searching, like me, for something that's a little deeper than what we would normally hope to achieve. And we're just doing a little bit deeper of a dive here. Just follow along and just know that the chords are basically G and then C. I'll go through and call these out for you so you can play along with me starting right now. If you weren't already playing along, we have the G, C, back to G, G, back to G, and then C, and C goes up to D. And knowing that G major scale in open position, we're going to take a little bit of a breather here because we are going to extend ourselves into the world of the scalar, the chord scale. So you've probably heard about the chord scale. It's not a necessarily scary thing to talk about, but it is something to talk about. So we have these really cool like triads that we're using. We're following the melody because I know the melody. And we can just play it straight, or we can add some sort of bluegrassy licks or whatever we want to do. But I'm going to start taking it away from the open position, We're just going to slowly come away from open position. And I'm going to put the downbeat on the 1, 3, 4, on 2, 3, 4. And this is just the traditional open chords, the way kind of Mr. Dylan would strum it. And why I'm saying that is because he might not just strum the boom chick pattern. Not be that simple. It might be more like we're kind of mashing the taters, got that. He's using different, so we're going to use different pieces of the string set. So the picking hand might enjoy not being confined to one particular location. Let's say that we wanted to be more solemn in our approach to verse number 2 or 3. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be, sloppy. way when we come out of that and come back to the wider open chords and more steady approach on the right hand or the picking hand, it's got somewhere to go. So we can also start taking it away, for like we were talking about, taking it away from the open position. You know, we have these other chords that are a little more challenging to think about, but we're thinking basically the G chord. The first thing that I would want to do is play all of those chords using bar chords, which I can move anywhere. So we're going, the answer, my friend, is, and then E minor, back to the 4 or the C, and then the D, back to the G. Let's just jam out on that just for a second, and you can play the G minor pentatonic scale if you want. And I'll give you some rhythm that you can practice over. So G minor pentatonic is, you know, basically this, 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 4 1 4 pattern, and you can work that out. Just keep this section on a loop. If you need to come back to it, note the time code. Just come back to it. And this is a great opportunity for you to play some melody. And I'm going to stay out of your way and just play rhythm guitar. Take it another time around. Do it one more time around, but I'm going to change it up a little bit. What a great song to play around with, though. It just, Another thing that we could do that's a lot of fun to play over the shape is this G major pentatonic shape. And I'll leave you with this. This will be plenty for your discovery as you start going back to play along with a recorded model like you're the guitarist that they forgot to hire for the date. This major pentatonic shape is where the rubber meets the road for many of us. So we have this 1-3, fingers 1 and 3 pattern. I'm using 1-3 slide. So frets 3, 5, 7, and then 3, 5, 7 on the A string. And then we're ending up here on exactly the same octave or pattern, 1 octave higher. Only when I get to the B string, it's the same pattern, but I have to offset that shape for the different spelling or the different tuning of the guitar. All right, I think that's, well, why don't I give you one more time around and then you can practice that shape and then we'll say goodbye for today. But if you want to hang around for a few more minutes, you can go ahead and do this. I'll give you some creative rhythm this time. Time around if you want. I'm going to play open chords now. Just totally relax and let you kind of noodle around with that newfound G major pentatonic, multi-positional G major pentatonic scale. There it is. Just having some fun. If you liked this video, you're also going to likely like this one, so you could watch that now. And I wanted to say thank you for like, share, subscribing, and all of the obligatory stuff that we like to do for each other here on YouTube and elsewhere about the internet. And until we meet again, I wish you happy picking.